share with you, with a few other speakers, about what I believe is our golden ticket, our lottery ticket, to everything that you ever want within your forever business, your life, your future, everything. So, as you can see, my name is Debbie Nwangwa, and I've been in Forever now for 8 years, 8.5 years actually. This is all of my achievements in the last 12 months and for the last 8 years. And it hasn't come through not having the ups and the downs like everybody has within Forever. This is me in a nutshell of everything that I do. So I am mum to 3 gorgeous boys. No, I haven't had another child, one of them's the dog. So I have Jaden at the top there, and actually, if you've noticed, Jaden's actually at the back of the room being cameraman today. So he's helping Virgil out as a bit of work experience. So Jaden's 13, Kai at the bottom there is 16, and we have a 3-year-old dog. So they are my world. I also have time, because of Forever, to run my own charity. So I sadly lost a friend 6 years ago now. And 4 of us now run a charity to help other people that are in similar situations with cancer-related illnesses between the ages of 18 and 30. Now, I wouldn't have time to do that if it wasn't for Forever, because I used to work 50, 60 hours a week in my corporate job. So my background before I joined Forever was in the oil and gas industry. I was in that job since my early 20s, absolutely loved it, before the children came along. So when the children came along at the age of 23, quite by surprise, but a lovely surprise, my job wasn't available as part-time. I literally had to drop the boys off from 3 months old for somebody else to look after them. So I felt like I'd literally just given birth and I was handing them over to somebody else, which wasn't great. I missed all their firsts. So weaning, walking. I got the grumpy side of the day when they were tired at 6 o'clock at night and I was racing home on a motorway. So it wasn't ideal, but I didn't have a choice, or I thought I didn't have a choice. So when Forever came into my life in October 2010, the reason why it came into my life, not for the first time, because I'd actually said no 3 times to Forever. I didn't believe in businesses like this. So when I eventually said yes to Ange, wherever she is, hello? The reason I said yes wasn't because I actually thought it was Forever. I just knew that I needed extra money. And the reason for that is because I wanted to privately educate my kids. And I couldn't do that in my day job because it didn't give me enough to even get to the end of the month, let alone pay for private school. So that's why I started Forever. I wanted to earn at least £500 a month. I didn't think it was possible, never thought I'd leave work. And 2.5 years later, I was able to leave my job. Not only that, but I was paying for both boys in private school, and still to this day have done exactly the same thing, is paying for their education since 2010. So in the last 12 months, it's just me and the boys. So I'm a single parent, and it's given me nothing but time. Time to be able to be there for my boys when they've needed me the most, and they've needed me the most. And also just still being able to have Forever as the support structure that it is in the background has just been absolutely life-changing. So for me, these are my bonus checks. So over 300,000 in the last 8 years in bonus checks alone. Like I said, for me, I've been able to have that time. So I would give everything else back. I wouldn't, but I would easily trade everything else, but the time for me has been the most important thing that Forever's given me. And again, I would not have been able to have a full-time job in the last 12 months, and I can guarantee you that with everything that I've needed to do, I would not have been able to have a job without them firing me because I'd had so much time off. So it's my pleasure to take you through what I believe is the golden ticket within Forever, and that is the Who Do You Know list. Now, it's a common knowledge that we all know at least 300 people. And I know when you open up the First Steps to Manager and you get to that page, you think, oh, I know how to do that bit. That bit's easy, I don't need to fill that in. And you do. You definitely do. Because the reason, and I don't know who said this phrase originally, I think it might have been Natalie Valenti actually, is about digging your well before you're thirsty. And that's really struck a chord with me, that saying, because you never know what's around the corner. And I didn't know what was around the corner 8 years ago in terms of what was going to happen in my life. But because I dug my well early, before I was thirsty and before I needed to take that time out, it was all about the who do you know list. And I'd built for 7 years solidly, some of it around a full-time career and a busy family life. I'd built it for 7 years so that it allowed me to have that time when I needed it. And it all starts here. So when I first joined Forever, I was on Facebook, I was on social media. I think I had about 250 friends. They weren't all friends, they were just mostly acquaintances. I never really posted on social media. But you've got Facebook, you've got LinkedIn, you've got Twitter, you've got Instagram, you've got WhatsApp, you've got your phone. You know, who's still got a phone book with written names in, like your gran used to have? Adam Mace nodding his head. They're really, really important, because those people are probably not in your phone, probably not on your Facebook. Write them down. Because once you write one name down, it'll jog your memory to think of somebody else, either with that same name or in the same network. So don't just think local, don't just think where you live, think nationally, and also think globally. So I always get my team members to write 2 lists, one international, who do you know abroad, and who do you know here in the UK. So this is a timeline, and this is, you know, we've got the memory jogger in the First Steps to Manager, but this is just going to help you really open up your mind, because by opening up your mind, you're going to come across people that you've probably forgotten about throughout your life. So you need to think, where did you go to school? Where do your kids go to school? Where have your kids been to school? University, did you go to university? Some of us didn't. I went straight into work. Did you go to college? What jobs have you had? So I left school and went straight into work. I had no qualifications. I just wanted to earn money and work. And that was what I did. So I started working in telesales for a double glazing company. I wasn't very good at it, but it was money. So I did it. Bar work, you know, wherever you have worked, whether you've worked in a restaurant, as a teenager, paper round, your current job, if you're still in work, where have you lived? So for me, I wasn't born in the Midlands, which is where I live now. I was born in Liverpool. Hide the accent quite well, apart from when I'm around Scousers. Where's Emma Sproul? So I didn't grow up around here. So everybody that you've previously lived in and around, they need to go on your who do you know list. Neighbours. I used to live in a cul-de-sac in Warwick, and 6 of my neighbours, and there was probably only 15 houses in the cul-de-sac, 6 of my neighbours were in my team. It didn't matter. My friends were not her friends. I didn't go to school the same place that she went to school, so it didn't matter that we all lived down the same road. So don't discount the people that are on your doorstep that you can build a business with. Your friends, their friends, your family, your distant relatives, your close relatives. You know, even if you've spoken to people before about the business, don't think it's no, not forever. It's just exactly the same as other people. You know, I know Natalie's not here today, but Sam took 7 years. I don't know where Sam is, but Sam took 7 years to join her own sister and 17 years to join her own mother. And she's just stood up here as number 5 in open business. Do you think it's worth still talking to family members that you've talked to before? Absolutely, because you never know when the right time is going to be. Clubs that your children go to. She says as her child's dancing at the back of the room. So, you know, I got people on my who do you know list that my children know. Their parents. The school teachers from their nursery. I still talk to them. They're still my customers. Just because they don't look after my children anymore doesn't mean to say that we didn't stay in touch. You've got clubs, hobbies. My eldest child is heavily into rugby and American football. So again, the people that are part of that network, they're now part of my network as well. Because we have something in common. That's the main thing. People join people that know, like, and trust them. So if I build a relationship with those people, obviously they're now part of my network as well. Close friends. So you're going to hear from one of my close friends in a few moments. But guess what I didn't do? I didn't prospect her. And she's going to tell you that exact story. Why? Because I thought she had it all. Who's the stupid one? How many people like that are not on your who do you know list? How gutted would you be if they walked into a success day with somebody else and they're your friend? And I know we've all done it. So they need to be on your who do you know list. Reconnect with people if you haven't seen them for years and years and years. Obviously, my school friends are up north, so I try and stay in touch with them as much as possible. Because at some point, they might become my customer. They might need the business opportunity for themselves. I also join groups on social media. I also join groups in my local town. So I joined a group for running club. And the reason for that is because A, I wanted to get fit, and B, I wanted to meet new people. So now a lot of those people within that running club are my customers. I've had people join my team from that running club, and it gets me out the house one night a week where I cannot touch my phone for an hour, which is great. It's the only switch off time that I have apart from sleep, by choice. My children, like I said, one of them's really, really sporty. So I join groups with people that I've got things in common with. Other mums, rugby mums. Jaden's a musician, my youngest, but he's also got a medical condition. So I've joined a group with other mums that have got children with that medical condition. Because we have something in common. I can talk to them, I can ask their advice. So don't discount anything like that. You know, whether it's that your child's got dyslexia, for instance. There are groups out there with other parents that have got children with dyslexia. So think outside the box. You've got retail events. You're going to hear from Sarah, who's going to talk to you about retail events and how you can build on your who do you know list through retail. Notice boards. One of the things that I love the most is notice boards. So whether you go to the local shop, whether it's a huge supermarket, whether it is a hardware store, most of them have notice boards. So the reason why I never ever run out of people is because I'll take a photograph of that notice board. It was taught to me, so I pass it on to my team as well. So I take a picture of the notice board, and when I get home, I will phone every single person on that notice board. Why are they advertising? Because they need more money. I've never advertised throughout my business when my business is at its highest. So the reason why people are advertising on there is because they want more money, more customers, more revenue. So I would call them and say, for instance, it was a tree surgeon. Now, I don't have any trees in my garden where I live right now, so I don't need a tree surgeon. But I'm going to call Steve, the tree surgeon, and I'm going to say, hi, Steve, this is Debbie. I saw your advert in XYZ shop. I don't currently need a tree surgeon, but I'm going to keep your details for anybody that I know that wants it in future, and I'll pass you on as a referral. Now, what I'd love to do is meet you for a coffee so you can find out about what I do, because you might know people that I can help too. Now, Steve's going to meet me for a coffee because I'm not trying to sell anything to him. I'm building a relationship so Steve can pass my details on to somebody that he knows. And it's a one-to-one. Because at that meeting, I'm going to explain exactly what it is that I do, and then Steve has probably got a sister, a mother, a brother, and I'm going to open myself up into Steve's network. Just the same as I've already offered him a referral by him telling me a little bit more about what he does. That one wouldn't be rocket science. He cuts trees. So don't discount notice boards. Obviously put your flyer, recruitment post, whatever it might be, onto that notice board as well. But that's why when people say to me that I've run out of people to talk to, and they've been in the business for less than a year, and I think you can't. We are in network marketing. You are obviously not networking. So even though I took a year out last year, I've still had an amazing business in terms of being able to build on my who do you know list ready for this year.